Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101, and today we're going to do a stock review on a company called Sanofi. I believe that is the name. This company is out of France, and what's big about them right now in the news is that they are pledging to give Canada and I believe some other countries vaccines for the for COVID-19. So let's look at the big story first before we actually break down the stock. That way we understand kind of why this may be generating a lot of income, a lot of stock profits for you guys. So let me pop this I'm just going to give you the headlines so you guys see exactly what I see. Now, Sanofi and GlaxoSmithKline signs deal with Canada to deliver 72 million doses of potential COVID-19 vaccine. So what that is saying is Canada has signed a contract. They signed a deal stating whenever Sanofi and GlaxoSmithKline, because they're working in collaboration together for a COVID-19 vaccine, is that we're going to buy exclusively from you for at least half of our population or a great part of our population. And matter of fact, I'm very curious to know Canada's population. Let's look that up. Canada's population. 37.59 million. So if they're ordering double the amount. I'm very curious about why they're ordering almost double. Okay, they're ordering 72. Their population, according to this 2019 census, is 37.59 million people. But again, you go back here, they're signing a deal for 72 million doses of potential COVID-19 vaccine. So that is very, very huge, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot of money that they will be paying out to France and also GlaxoSmithKline. Now, let's break this stock down just a little bit, okay? Now, granted, this stock is not listed. This stock is not listed on Robinhood, but it's on the NASDAQ, which I'm very confused about. Okay, I got GlaxoSmithKline picked up, and as you can tell, they are rising to almost at 1%, but the ticker for Sanofi is SYN. It doesn't pop up at all, okay? So that's why I'm not using that source. But if you do want to buy some shares of this particular, I believe, breakout stock, because once they say, hey, we're in this trial, we're in our final trials, this stock is going to blow up. And this deal that they're signing, okay, of a potential COVID-19 should generate some sort of profit, okay, just off that. And as you can tell, GlaxoSmithKline is up already 0.64. And today with them, they're kind of down for whatever reason. But again, we understand that stocks fluctuate throughout the day. But anyway, if you want to buy the stock, you can actually go on Webull. Now, this is my Webull account that's on my desktop, okay, on my desktop. What I love about Webull, ladies and gentlemen, is that it has everything listed. Again, this is not really a good platform to teach from, but to invest from is very phenomenal. And this is why I do, believe it or not, a lot of my investments. Let me move this over so I can show you some of the other analytics that this thing actually had, okay? So different portions of this, I love the market one, what kind of gives me a total layout of everything that's going on, okay? You have your Dow Jones, your NASDAQ, your S&P 500. You have your top movers here. You have your active movers. And they also have everything color-coded, graded. Then you have your different sectors of your hot industries down here. I know I'm giving you a stock review, but I want to lay out this desktop platform because this may interest you. And again, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I like investing on Webull, and I do some investing for teaching purposes on Robinhood, okay? If you guys want to check out Webull and invest with them as well, the link is in the description for you guys to do so. And again, you can, here's the industry that I'm looking at: renewable energy, leisure products, automobiles, and it gives you all the different timeline, 5 days, 1 month, but unfortunately it only goes up to 3 months. But nonetheless, you can look at renewable energy in this scroll right here, as a side, okay? And they have some of the first top 4 in that industry, as you can tell right here, with their tickers. Automobiles and auto parts, they have their tickers. You got NEO. I don't know, I've got what GP is. We know that TSLA is Tesla. So cold industry, freight and logistics services, household goods, etc. Again, what I love, you can just put it, change the hot industries over here, natural gas utilities, Atmos Energy, UGI, New Forest Energy, natural furnace gas, One Gas, etc. So again, it has a lot of tools. Then you can go up here for your global index, okay? Whether it be China, the S&P 500, Dow Jones. Then you can change it to Forex, which I also love. You got your British pounds, your euros, your Canadian dollars, your Japanese yen. So again, that's why I love this platform, because I know how to navigate it. It does take a little bit of time. But nonetheless, if you wanted to invest in Sanofi out of France on the NASDAQ, unfortunately, it's not listed on Robinhood, but you can come over to Webull and invest into what I believe, depending on when they get to these different phases and trials, that you can actually invest from, okay? All right, so that's a little walkthrough of Webull and how you can invest with. Now, granted, over the past 5 years, Sanofi has been doing decently well. Now, what I love is their dividends. Their dividends are phenomenal. And believe me, for a stock that you're only paying $50 from, let's see, so $50 at 3.35, almost $2, okay, per share. Almost $2 per share in dividends. That is phenomenal, okay? Usually a stock who has the potential for growth, like they will be here pretty soon, won't usually give out that much money. They usually don't. But almost $2 from what I'm looking at their stock price and their dividends, okay? But anyway, let me walk through the 5 years, okay? I won't do that. Let me see. Let's look at the max. Okay, no, let's do 5 years. That looks a little bit better. So right before COVID-19, they were up around $51.62. Of course, they dropped down to $38 during COVID-19. Now they're up $50. Now I'm expecting them to at least to go up to $55, $60, okay? Back to their 52-week high based upon this hot news. Again, we understand that news generates how stock will perform because investors will hear that news. They say, okay, what's their platform? What's their business structure? What's their business plan? How they're going to go through these phases? What other markets are they going to attract? And then they start to invest. Okay, so look for this stock to actually do well and probably within a year. So this is kind of that short-term to long-term sort of investment, okay? So let's look over here. Let's look at the also the 52-week range as well as the dividends, okay? So the day range, not too much too significant, but the 52-week range, again, is $38 roughly to $55 per share, okay? Which is absolutely good. Look at their EPS. They're a company that's absolutely operating out of profit. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen, almost $2. Like I said, $1.70 for every $50 that you invest with this particular company. And for some of you who are not familiar with dividends, that's high. That is high. Almost $2 on a $50 stock, because usually anytime a organization gives you a lot of dividends with a low price per share, is basically saying we're going to stay around this 40 to 55 range. But I think they're going to do better than that, okay? So a lot of you who are looking for a stock that gives good dividends, according to the numbers, this is absolutely a good stock for dividends and the potential for growth. Because again, look at the headline. Look at the headline. Sanofi and GlaxoSmithKline signs deal, meaning they signed the deal with Canada to deliver 72 million doses of potential COVID-19. They don't even have a vaccine yet. It's in the works. They're probably in the second or third phase, okay? And granted, they signed this deal with Canada, and I don't know who Canada is going to donate the rest of these doses to, but Canada is almost buying double of their population, because when we look at this, Canada's population is only 37.59 million, okay? So roughly, let's just round up because it's 2020, 38 million people. But when you look back here, you're like, hold up. Why are you buying 72 million doses? Now, I'm not going to get into the weeds about that, but it's imperative that they sign the deal with Sanofi and GlaxoSmithKline to almost double the amount of doses that they have versus in the ratio to people, okay? To people. Let's look at GlaxoSmithKline really quickly. I'm just going to call it SmithKline, okay? SmithKline. Let's look at their 5-year chart. And they have been down over the course of 5 years, almost 7% the last year, almost 10%. The last 3 months, almost 10%. The last month, almost 6%. Well, 6%. The last week, 2.5%. And today they've been up, maybe because of the good news, okay? I'm not going to break this down too much. And they're giving, okay, on a stock price of $37.58, 5.27%. How much is that? Is that almost $3? Let me look this up very quickly because I believe this is interesting. I think their ticker is GSK, if I can remember correctly, GSK. Here we go. How much are their dividends? Because we understand that Sanofi, okay, Sanofi is $1.70 on a $50 per share. And I believe that's just absolutely phenomenal, okay? So let's look at this. Oh no, only 47 cents. Okay, wow. Ugh, it's not even worth it, right? I know. It's like Sanofi is doing a lot better. Oui Oui, comment allez-vous? Je remercie vous. And we understand that Sanofi is a French multinational pharmaceutical company that is the headquarters is in Paris, France. Okay, they are the world's 5th largest by prescription sales, which is huge. Because listen, if I do a world map, I like to show you guys the extra information. Okay, I like to show you guys the extra information because I believe it's imperative for you to get kind of this, this full perspective of certain things. Let me go into this. Now, I want to show you something. Look at the United States. Look how big Canada is. Okay, look how big Canada is. Canada is bigger than the United States. Now, we understand the United States is the most powerful country in the world. And it's mostly because of our military. Not because the country is rich. No. It's because of our military, okay? Now look at China. China is almost, I'm not getting into the weeds about this. I'm just going off what I see with my eyes. It's about the same size. Australia is about the same size. Brazil is a little bit smaller. Russia is absolutely humongous, but we understand almost a third of Russia is inhabitable. No one lives out there. It's kind of like trying to live in Antarctica or some parts of Alaska. It's just the wild, wild west out there, okay? So, but can you see France on the map? Can anyone see France? Can anyone see France? Yeah, that's my point. You can't really see France unless I blow it up, okay? And let me show you. France is almost, let me see. I don't know what France is compared to, but France is probably the size of Texas or California, maybe. I'm not going to get into the weeds about that either, but they're the world's 5th largest prescription in sales. Now, just a little history lesson. We understand why countries like France and the UK are very rich and very powerful, and that's because of this large country that people that look like you and I actually ancestors derived from, which is a continent called Africa, with many countries, about 50 plus countries in this continent. And because they colonized them, a little country like France has, all these riches, okay? They're powerful, they're rich because of the colonization of a lot of countries in this huge continent with almost over 1 billion people that they colonized with the UK, the Dutch, some Germans, Belgium, etc. Okay? And of course, the British. But anyway, that's just your little history lesson for today. I can tell you, I can get to the weeds about this all day, but I won't. But But I really wanted to show you that because it's imperative that they are the 5th largest prescription company, and look how small they are, okay? Look how small they are. Let me see if I can get a map that really breaks down so I can do a comparison. I said I wouldn't get into the weeds, but sometimes it is interesting to know why a company and why a country is doing so well in that particular area. Okay, we're going into the weeds. All right. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. So the question is, do I believe that Sanofi is a good company to invest in? Based upon the news that we just went over and their dividends versus their potential for growth, I believe it's absolutely a good company for you to invest in. Short to long term, even if you can buy some options on Webull. Again, unfortunately, on Robinhood, if you're a big Robinhood investor, it's not even listed on Robinhood for whatever reason. I couldn't really find out that information this morning, but nonetheless, you can go on Webull and actually invest in that stock. And for you guys to be a little bit more familiar about Webull, I'll show you very quickly that you can go right here. Once you hit the tab of the stocks, you can put in how many stocks you want, limit order, market order, trailing stop, just like you would on Robinhood, how many quantity you actually want to buy. The limit price is 50, but you probably want to put it around $52. And then, stop loss where you want to be cut off at, and then you can buy. Now, I love putting the limit price because you're like, hey, I don't want to go over $55. And then you can buy how many shares you want, okay? So again, this is a stock review on Sanofi. Unfortunately, you can't buy it on Robinhood, but you can buy it on Webull, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me this morning. I will be back on a little bit later to give you some more financial information and news. So I want to just give a quick shout out to everyone, see who's in the room. All right, we have Nolan Baptiste. Good morning, good sir. Thank you for everything. And Jermaine Anderson, good morning to you as well. Guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share and like this video to those who may find value in this information. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. And code for life, you're late, bruh. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up anyway, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out.